Hare Hare Krishna Da 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 Read a little bit from Bhagavad Gita. Yes? Yes. And we can.
Yeah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 I was thinking we could read text number 9 of chapter 10. 10:9. Yes. Marchita Margata Prana.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Dhayanta Parasparam.
Vadayanta Parasparam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Dhayanta Parasparam.
Bodhyanta Parasparam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Bodhayanta Parasparam.
Bodhayanta Parasparam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha. Marchita Margata Prana.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Bodhyanta Parasparam.
Bodhyanta Parasparam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha. Marchita Margata Prana.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Bodhyanta Parasparam.
Bodhyanta Parasparam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha. Marchita Margata Prana. Bodhayanta Parasparam. Katyantasya Mam Nityam. Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Marchita Margata Prana.
Bodhyanta Parasparam.
Bodhayanta Parasparam.
Katyayantasya Mam Nityam.
Katyantasya Mam Nityam.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Dusyanti Charamanti Cha.
Marchita.
Marchita.
Their minds fully engaged in me.
Their minds fully engaged in me.
Matgata Prana.
Margata Prana.
Their lives devoted to me.
Their lives devoted to me.
Bodhayanta,
Bodhayanta,
preaching,
preaching,
Parasparam,
Parasparam,
among themselves,
among themselves.
Katyanta, talking,
Talking.
Cha, also,
Also.
Mam,
Mam,
about me,
about me,
Nityam,
Nityam,
perpetually,
perpetually.
Tushanti,
Tushanti,
become pleased,
Become pleased.
Cha, also,
Also.
Ramanti,
Ramanti,
enjoy transcendental bliss,
enjoy transcendental bliss,
Cha, also.
also.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada.
Cha,
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Pure devotees, whose characteristics are mentioned here, engage themselves fully in a transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. The symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing him with other devotees. In the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself. And in the mature stage, they are actually situated in love of God. Once situated in that transcendental position, they can relish the highest perfection which is exhibited by the Lord in His abode. Lord Chaitanya likens transcendental devotional service to the sowing of the seed in the heart of the living entity. There are innumerable living entities traveling throughout the different planets of the universe, and out of them there are a few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get the chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare, that seed fructifies, just as the seed of a tree fructifies with regular watering. The spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters into the Brahmanjyoti effulgence in the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky, also, that plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. Gradually, as the plant grows fruits and flowers, that plant of devotional service also produces fruits, and the watering process in the form of chanting and hearing goes on. This plant of devotional service is fully described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 19. It is explained there that when the complete plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, one becomes fully absorbed in love of God. Then he cannot live even for a moment without being in contact with the Supreme Lord, just as a fish cannot live without water. In such a state, the devotee actually attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord. The Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of such narrations about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to the devotees, as stated in the Bhagavatam itself. 12, 13, 18. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. In this narration, there is nothing about material activities, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation. Srimad Bhagavatam is the only narration in which the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is fully described. And thus, The realized souls in Krishna consciousness take continual pleasure in hearing such transcendental literatures, just as a young boy and girl take pleasure in association. Jai. Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyanandana Shalakaya Shakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagaljatam Sahagana Ragnotanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Shra He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Manushtute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamani Hari Priya Vansha Kalpatarubhyasha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Machita Madgata Prana Buddha Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayanta Shamam Nityam Tushanti Cha Ramanti Cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Yes, so previous time, Hare Krishna, we were talking about 10.8, Aham Savasya Prabhavo. So I mentioned that these 4 verses, 10.8 to 10.11, is Bhagavad Gita. They're the seed or bija verses, seed verses of Bhagavad Gita. So that means that all the content of Bhagavad Gita can be fleshed out from these 4 verses. They're the most important verses, in other words, or the most practical verses to know. So what this verse is telling us is that when we have had our hearts purified by devotee association, by engaging in devotional service, naturally we will then come back to the original position of the soul, or living entity, which is to be in harmony with the will of the Lord. And the will of the Lord is that we always think about Him, that we always serve Him, that we do all sorts of things. And it's sorry, and it's verse. Standing a little still. Chapter 9. What is it? What is it that Lord says? It says. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. You know this verse? It's sorry for. Man manabhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayana. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So that's the whole purport of Bhagavad Gita. Now, naturally, in our conditioned state, it's very difficult to always think of Krishna, because our hearts are so contaminated by lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of roaming around in the material world. So we need guidance. We need proper practice, a way to come to this state of always thinking about Krishna. Krishna himself, he says that if you cannot always think of me, Then engage in regulative principles, which means to not eat meat, not engage in illicit sex, etc. So that gradually you can come to this point. Also, in today's society, it's very difficult for people to keep these regulative principles. So therefore, we can be advised to work for Krishna, etc. Prabhupada, when he was confronted with Prabhupada, I cannot stop eating meat. He say, well, don't eat cow meat. Eat an insignificant animal like a pig or a goat, for example. I assume everyone here is a vegetarian, but for many people in the rest of society, it's very difficult to keep these restrictions or that we need to keep. Assuming that everyone here is vegetarian, that's very good. And then the next is that we should offer everything that we eat, offer everything to Krishna, because it is not that we just need to be vegetarian. Actually, it's that everything needs to be offered to the Lord. Krishna himself, he says that if you eat something that is not offered to me, verily you eat only sin. So Krishna also says, Yat karosh yadasnasi, yat juhosi dadasayat, yat tapasyasi kantya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So offer everything to the Lord. In this way, we can purify ourselves like this, and we can come to this platform of spontaneously thinking about the Lord. So the process is given that we chant 16 rounds of Mahamantra. Who chants the 16 rounds? Who doesn't? You chant? Raise your hand.
Nearly always, not 100% always, but nearly.
Okay. Yeah. And this is you don't?
I try.
You try.
Oh my god.
Difficult.
So difficult.
Yeah.
No time to even eat. I eat one meal a day.
Yeah.
That's it. My life is crazy. Children take all your life and time. Yeah.
This is your devotional service, actually. This is best.
Something like that.
If we can still manage to remember Krishna and dedicate all our work, that's very good. Because then gradually, Krishna says, we will come to him. It's very important that we're directing our love towards Krishna, regardless of what we do. Because if we start walking towards Krishna, he will never turn his back on us. He will always accept us. Always bring us towards him, because he knows us better than we know ourselves. He sits in our heart as a super soul, so he knows what is best for us. If we cannot say chant 16 rounds, we cannot keep all these rules and regulations, then if we still try to always remember Krishna and do our best, then Krishna will arrange for us to gradually come to him, even if it's not in this life, gradually, because once we have started our devotional process, there is never any loss. He says this also previously, that those who haven't completed their purification, or those who have fallen from the practice, they take birth in aristocratic families or families of elevated brahmanas, so that they can again come back into to where they were. So there is never any loss on this path. So it's like this also. If you just take prasadam once, you will always get the opportunity to do the same thing again, to take prasadam again. So that's how Krishna is leading us towards him, like a sheep herder. He knows how to get his sheep to come to him without the sheep even understanding themselves. But suddenly they're just being pulled towards or taken to where they should go. So in this way, we get the opportunity to do the same thing again and again. And the more we do it, the more we actually progress, and the more we get a taste for doing this devotional service, and we gradually purify ourselves, and the mirror to the mind and becomes purified. So Prabhupada, he talks about in his purport about this devotional service being like sowing a seed in the heart. This happens when we meet the pure devotee, or when we get in touch with God through the scriptures, or meeting those who have attained perfection. Like in our hearts, we have so many desires. Generally, now in our conditions today, we have all this material, all these unwanted desires. But when we meet the pure devotee, when we meet the Vaishnavas, we get a seed for devotional desires to be planted. And this seed, when properly cared for, it starts sprouting, it starts blossoming, it starts flowering. And the problem is, of course, that we have these other seeds, these material desire seeds. So it's like there's competition in the garden of our heart between these devotional seeds and these material weeds, actually, that have grown because of our activities in Maya. And so these sinful desires, they are like they can be in a dormant state, like we have our desires, so they can blossom later, and we can have the result of those being blossoming currently, so that we're paying for our sins, or they can be like growing, so that in the future we'll have to suffer for them, because everything we do in the world of Maya, it has action and reaction, right? But the devotional desires, they are akarmic. They don't cause any reactions on the material plane.
Sorry, what did you say? They are dekarmic?
Or akarmic. So without karmic reactions. So there's like it's a competition between our unwanted desires and our actual desires that are beneficial for us. So if we think of the heart as a courtyard, where we have like a little garden, and in this garden, if we're not tending to it, then it will just be full of weeds. These are the unwanted desires. They're just like if you have a backyard, if you're not caring for it properly, it will very quickly overgrow with unwanted things. So you have to always like trim it down. But if you don't plant anything else, it will just come straight back up. So you need to clear all of these unwanted desires, and you need to plant this seed of devotional service. And of course, gradually these weeds, they will return. So we need to always tend to the courtyard of the heart, to this garden, and see what is going on there. And it's like we have to monitor ourselves, monitor our minds, and see with intelligence how am I dealing with myself, with other people, because when we deal negatively with people, all these seeds, they have the opportunity to grow weeds. So we should always dwell in Krishna, because then these weeds, they don't get the opportunity to grow very much. But naturally, because of our bonds to the material world, they will sprout sometimes. But if we are very careful, then we can always rip this out, with proper practice and proper attention. And the most powerful way of purifying ourselves and cleaning the heart. Anyone can guess what this is?
Mantra.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes. Not just chanting, but how. What is the best process? How is chanting? That also, but without offenses, and most importantly, chant it congregationally with in the association of the devotees. So, say if we come to the temple, there is kirtan, and we're just either sitting or standing, not participating. Or it's purifying us to some extent. But when we're participating actively and lively in the kirtan, then the effect of our chanting the holy names there millions and millions of times better. And it purifies. It takes these unwanted desire seeds, and just rip them out by the root, so that they cannot return. And simultaneously, this creeper or seed of devotional desires, they are then given nourishment to grow. So that gradually the seed it grows, and then it grows and grows, sprouts and sprouts and sprouts, till it penetrates the shell of the universe and enters into the Brahmajatir and up through the Vakuntas. You just keep nourishing it, and it just grows and grows and grows until it reaches the very top planet of Golok Vrindavan, where it takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Because Golok Vrindavan is Krishna's own abode. That's a planet where we belong. That's the very, very highest residence of the Supreme Lord, which is beyond the Vakuntas, where denizens there live in very, very vast opulence. Golok Vrindavan is like village life. It is actually the highest form of perfection to attain one's abode in Golok Vrindavan, because there everything is wish fulfilled. You can go to a tree, you can pick any, you can think of any fruit, and just take this fruit. The cows, they produce unlimited amount of milk, and everything there is all the stones are touchstones. They can turn everything into whatever you desire, into gold. So you can have everything you desire in this place. The only thing we need to accept is that Krishna is the supreme, that we're all his eternal servants, that we're his parts and parcels. And then gradually we can rediscover our love for Krishna, because in our hearts we all have this dormant love of God, but because of our association with material nature, then we have forgotten that we are actually his lovers, his friends, his eternal associates. So actually, if you think of it, when we are chanting with the attentiveness, without offense, and with devotion, then we are actually in that state. We are with Krishna in our eternal constitutional position as his friends, his lovers. Because Krishna, he is completely transcendental. There's not a tinge of material contamination in him. So, and also because he's not different from his name. When we are chanting, then we're associating with him. So it's from Rujika. Last week she talked about Narottam Das Thakur. There was once they had a festival. It was for Gaur Purnim. I think it was the first, wasn't it? Yes, that they arranged the first Gaur Purnim in his town or city of Keturi. And all the important Vaishnavas, they came there, and they arranged this great Kirtan festival, and they were singing with so much love and devotion, and it became so intense. At one point, the whole Panchatattva, they appeared there, like you see in the picture, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Shiv, Gadadhar, and Shivas, they all came, and like their immediate families, they were still around, and they all got to meet them, and it was very, very powerful. And all night they were dancing and singing together with the Panchatattva. So if we chant with real love, real devotion, then we are immediately associating with the Lord, and it can be to such an extent that actually the Lord appears Himself, which happened at this Gora Purnim in Keturigam. Now we cannot expect that the Lord He descends Himself personally like this for us, but we can chant. We can still chant from our hearts with a pure intention. If our intention is pure, then what can be the problem? It is very, very purifying, and we are bound to make spiritual progress. Furthermore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narrations about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and the living entities, and how powerful the chanting of the holy names is. For example, the story of Ajamil, who was a great sinner. Because he just chanted offensively the holy name, wasn't even on purpose, he wasn't even addressing the Lord, he was calling for his son. And then he was saved from more sins than he could ever have committed. So that's the power of chanting the holy names offensively. What to say of chanting the holy names purely? If we are chanting the holy names purely, then we are bound to attain love of God. So it's one thing to attain liberation; it's another thing to attain love of God. Love of God is the goal, and this comes with purification. It's Krishna Prem. So we should call out for Krishna. We should cry out for Krishna when we are chanting His names, and pray for Him to save us. Because if we really, really want to, then He has no other choice than to come and save us. So that's the strategy to call out for Krishna with all our hearts and cry for Him to save us. Maybe there are some realizations on this subject matter, some reflections. Yes, Faru.
What about those desires who are still there in the heart?
Yes.
Even after 15 years, you are chanting.
Yes.
Signs of you is trying everything.
Yeah.
But still there is these desires. There is some plan.
Yeah, but that means you're not chanting the holy names offensively, because the 10th offense is to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on the subject matter. Say if you have read the shastras, if you have taken the instructions of Guru and Sadhu, we still cling on to our material attachments, and that's offensive, because we should have understood that there is no nectar to gain from maintaining these. All the worldly affairs that we engage in, they're bland. There's no taste in them. So what's the use of holding on to them? Like we think to be gone, these wicked desires. Make them go away, because they have no benefit for us. So this doesn't mean that you should stop chanting. There are many they can take 20, 30, 40 years to get over the stage of anartha nivritti. That's the clearing of the unwanted desires. But gradually, as the chanting proceeds, then there should be a change. But it's also like this: people can actually just go life after life, chanting in the holy name offensively, and not make any progress. But Krishna, He doesn't give up on us, so we should continue, not give up. But the real blissful spiritual life really starts after we have cleared our unwanted desires. Now, it's not that there is no pleasure in chanting the holy names before one reaches the state of Nishta or firm faith. There is, but it is just like a glimpse of bliss, of happiness, because of our attachments dragging us back towards the ground, so to speak. Because we cannot have both. We cannot have a cake and eat it at the same time. Either you have the cake and you just look at it. Then it's not cannot eat. You're not Krishna. You cannot eat it with your eyes. You have to actually eat the cake, and then you can taste how nice it feels. So we should with pure intention go towards Krishna, because we have nothing to lose from doing so. We have this golden opportunity, and if we are still not making any progress, it means that we're not chanting the holy names offensively.
But one can have a good intention, but in practical life it's difficult.
But you have to have a pure intention. There's a difference between a good intention and a pure intention. There's a good intention will always be contaminated by but this, but that, because goodness is always contaminated by tinges of passion and ignorance. But if our intention is pure, then there is no place for passion and ignorance in it. So there is no room for buts and maybes. If our intention is pure, then Krishna sees that, and he takes us toward him. It's like he sees that if we really want to, then he will arrange for for facilitating our progress. Yeah.
Pure attention in
Pure
strong
intention.
intention.
Intention. Yes, that our intention is not to gain some worldly prestige from the practice. It's not to. It's not to get some satisfaction on the material plane. So, for example, if you have some tinges of desires to enjoy some knowledge, to enjoy some fruitive results from the bhakti, then it's not pure. It's either karma mishra bhakti or jnana mishra bhakti. The devotion must be free from these tinges, these traces of karma and jnana. It says, Anya vilasta shunya jnana karma di anavritam anukulyana krishna nushilanam bhakti ruttama. So the highest form of bhakti is that which is rendered favorably without any desires for worldly gains, and free from contamination of these lower forms of yoga as karma and jnana. Yeah. That's the pure form of devotional service. So that we are rendering it favorably, like we're rendering it because we want to please Krishna. Actually, we're not doing it because we want to promote our cause. We're doing it because we want Krishna to be pleased with us. And that's a secret. This is a secret of devotional service, of love in general. We need to put the other person's needs in front of our own. And the other person, when we're engaged in devotional service, the person in the middle is Krishna. So we put him in front of our needs, then that is the right way. Because then what happens is that we become satisfied, because this is what is innate in our souls, to be in this relationship with Krishna and engaged in his loving exchanges. What happened then? Krishna, if he becomes pleased, then there's a reaction, is that automatically all the parts and parcels which we are become satisfied in turn. Because we belong to Krishna. When Krishna is happy, then we automatically become happy. It's very difficult to understand for a conditioned mind, because we are so used to serving ourselves. I think that the only way to be happy is I serve myself. But actually, the only way to be really happy is to serve Krishna. this analogy of the tree. If you water the root of the tree, then the whole tree becomes nourished. If Krishna is the root of the tree, and all the living entities, everything is his branches, etc. And then if you water the root and Krishna, then we become satisfied as the branches and twigs and leaves of the tree. Yeah. Yes.
I'm sorry to speak about me, but I think this experience in the temple in 2 years that I'm here every day since Mangalarti till night. It's a very great experience and it gives so much happiness and satisfaction. Very simple, very simple. The service sometimes seems a little bit hard, but it's so sweet. And because we have to change the character, you know. We have to perfection our character. This is very important to work on the character.
Yeah.
And but you feel really happy when Krishna is happy.
Yeah.
You are happy.
How do you know when Krishna is happy?
Because your heart is full of happiness. And this can be a sign of a good relationship with the Lord, that you are really doing what is the best for you, for yourself, and also for the people. And now we are starting with this food prasadam distribution in the street. I said, wonderful. No, so we go out from the temple, just outside the temple, and we offer freely this food, and the people are so happy. Anita Mataji helped me this service. It's very nice. So we can experiment a very simple way. What is the grace of the Lord? And the people are waiting for prasadam. Prasadam means really mercy. And if you want to help us in this service, it should be very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice if you can.
What is unwanted desire?
Unwanted desires. They are the desires that we have to enjoy in the temporary world, in this material world. So very, very simply, this is what is in the word. Things, desires that we don't want to have. Yeah.
How can we?
So material desires for material gain, they're unwanted desires. The real desire of the soul is to have spiritual wants and spiritual longings, to hanker after spiritual bliss. All things that we are doing in the material world, if we are dragged towards this is actually undesired, because it doesn't serve us in the long run. Because all these things, they have a beginning and they have an end, and so they will always be sources of misery. So what is happening? We associate with our senses are associating with sense objects, and then based on our interaction with the sense object, then we become entangled. We get reactions, and these cause desires to wanting to do these things again, and these are the unwanted desires. So our goal is then to purify our desires, so that our desires, because we gotta have desires that is innate in the soul. It's not like the Buddhists say that we should be desireless and then just become nothing. This doesn't work. We have desires, but our desires need to be spiritual. They need to be purified, so that we only desire to be with Krishna. Yeah. So when our unwanted desires are cleared up, then really this spiritual life it becomes very relishable. But we are also entangled and so attached to our heart and home, as they say, that we cannot even understand these the happiness that is derived from spiritual life. That's why Krishna gives us glimpses into the happiness that one can attain sporadically, so that we gradually can get a taste for more. Like I said, it's not that we engage in chanting Hare Krishna and it just doesn't feel any good. We notice we chant Hare Krishna. We have noticed that it's very nice. But the real taste of chanting Hare Krishna really begins when our material desires are vanquished, so that we are not distracted by our minds always reminding us of our worldly identities, etc. So the aim is to purify our desires from material desires to spiritual desires. It's not that we're losing anything, it's just that we're purifying them. We can still do our duties, but we're just doing it to please Krishna instead of trying to promote our own causes.
But if we are performing our duties, then other than spirituality, there will be some desires arising from those duties.
Yes.
So are those undesired?
If they are not targeted towards Krishna, yes, because they will always lead to another reaction. So everything in this world is action and reaction. If we are just fueling our actions or reactions, then we will just continue perpetually in the cycle of repeated birth and death. But if we do our duties with the intention that we are going to satisfy Krishna instead of satisfying ourselves, then our hearts become purified, because our actions then aren't any longer causing reactions, because as I said before, they are akarmic or akarmic. So you can have two persons, they can have seemingly the same position, they can do the same job. One is doing it because he wants to earn money so that he can have a new car, new speedboat, etc. to enjoy.
New wife.
Yeah.
New wife.
New wife. Yes. And another can do the job because he wants to raise a family in Krishna consciousness. Yeah, two very different things.
But isn't that also a desire? Like
yeah, but you gotta have desires. You need to have desires. That's natural. But the desires must be spiritual. You cannot be desireless. I said that. But the desires they must be targeted towards. We want to please Krishna. Say you have children, you gotta give them the opportunity to come to Krishna, to learn to chant Hare Krishna, and remember Krishna. If we just have children and we're not trying to make them remember Krishna, then we're no better than the animals. So therefore we shouldn't have children. But if we are doing our best to give them Krishna, then that is very different. Then our desires they go towards Krishna instead. Because Krishna, if we go towards him, then he will go toward us, and he will gradually free us from these ropes of Maya that we're in. Because this whole world is like a prison. We don't even know that we're in it till we get the seed of devotion. We all think that that everything is just swell and dandy in this world, because this is Maya's snare of thinking that, making us think that we're happy, when in actuality we are in darkness of ignorance. So it's all about purifying our desires and realizing again that we are eternal parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and that our position is that of Lord's eternal servants.
So when one says that we should solely talk on the transcendental subjects, is that just talks of Krishna, or does it entail anything else?
Anything that has any relation to Krishna is talking about Krishna. So it can be his pastimes or activities, it can be the pastimes and activities of his devotees, it can be glorifying his holy name, it can be anything as long as it is connected to Krishna. So maybe it's beneficial to think of it the other way around. Is to not think about things that have no connection to Krishna. If you cannot see that that it has any value. For example, when you see this whole world as if you think that it's separate from Krishna, and think that I am in the center, then this is Maya, and that's not worth talking about. We can talk about anything as long as it's connected to Krishna. We will find a way to connect it to him. So it means that it's not that we have to always talk about Krishna like directly, but talking about his things that are beneficial towards his mission. That's perfect. Yeah.
We have seen that in very delicate situations, it's very important to take shelter of like Harinam and the devotees and Prabhupada also. And that in such situations, if you're not, it's even possible to like lose your life or lose everything, that you have. We have seen some devotees or god brothers who were, they're devotees, they're chanting, but they're not maybe chanting sincerely, or they're kind of falling down from their practice or whatever, but and then getting an ego, getting puffed up somehow, and in that moment when they lose everything, suddenly they, the worst things happen to them, without going into detail. Just terrible things. So,
Yeah.
Remember Krishna, sorry.
yeah.
Remember Krishna means, for me, means that when I have to choose something, which direction to take, we cannot really think what Krishna, what my spiritual master would like, or will suggest me. If you have a relationship with the spiritual master, you can remember his words, and you know very well which is the right path.
The correct.
Yeah, and you just to follow this. It's very, very easy. But we have we need a relationship with pure devotee. We really need because he saw the truth, So just to remember what they could suggest you in this situation. To speak directly with Krishna is difficult. But if you have and to avoid selfish, too much selfish desires. Just understand what Krishna was. What Krishna was.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, it is what the spiritual life
I think we should move on to Arti. We can talk more later.
I'm sorry.
If you want to talk more, we can talk after Prasadam.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is key.
Prabhupada Gita, no.
इतना अच्छा बना रही हो हेल्प चाहिए मुझे नहीं हो जाए ठीक है थैंक यू मैंने कहा देखो कि अगर तुमको लगेगा कि बिल्कुल हाँ वो बेशक बस ये पूछा जरूर है, otherwise अच्छे से किया। राधे राधे हरी। हाय
Jaya Nita Gora Chanda Jaya Nita Gora Chanda Jaya Nita Gora Chanda Jaya
Radhe Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Charashtra Tara Sada Sri Smari Sarangas. श्री भक्तिसिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की इस कमली विधि समस्त भक्ताचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की नमस्कार श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से हो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त प्रेम की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंज राधा कुंज गिर गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की नवद्वीप धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की हरे नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की बृहद मृदंग की समवेत भक्त वृंद की गौर प्रेमानंदे Oh glories to these Samanotis. Oh glories to these Samanotis. Oh glories to Shri Shri Guru Garanga. Oh glories to Srila Prabhupada. See?